catching us off
If
guard.
we do it at all, do it next meeting?
I think I made a motion.
So the motion's on the floor to add it to the agenda,
That's correct.
and I didn't hear a second.
I seconded
Okay,
that.
thank you.
And call for the question.
All right. No, wait. So the motion is you want to add something to the agenda that nobody knows anything about except for a few of you, other board members. So
that wasn't a
it doesn't matter. Let's just move on. So Tina's not here, so Donna, you will have to call the roll.
do we get to have
Do we get
discussion?
discussion?
Sure.
So my point here is that there are board members that have refused to take a stand on items in the MOU, and I'd like to see us take a stand publicly on each article in the MOU, whether you thumbs up or thumbs down.
I, again, have been caught off guard. I don't think it should be added to the agenda. We shouldn't be voting on anything.
Kind
but putting it
of
on.
like
That's it.
back in April. That
And is it
You weren't caught off
irrelevant?
guard
What is the relevancy?
The relevancy is that I think we owe it to our constituency to express what the heck it is we support in this MOU and what we object to.
This is late at night. This is catching everybody off guard. This is
Well-
really pretty interesting. So the motion's on the floor. There's been a second. There's been some discussion. Is there any further discussion?
Sure. I think in the name of transparency, which we all stand for, this is the least we can do. This shouldn't be a surprise. We've been discussing the MOU for months, and so it's nothing new or different other than just getting a little more specific. But, you know, there's a lot of confusion out in the community why the MOU was voted down, and this would just give that clarity and accountability, which I think is absolutely our job and our role as board members, and that's why I seconded it. I actually think it's an excellent idea, so thank you to Mrs. Vista Ward for coming up with that.
Further discussion?
Would it help? I just looked it up because admittedly I didn't know what Article 1 was either. But should we read it
Be
to
helpful.
folks?
No. The
So
motion on
Article
the
1
floor.
well, this
Ms.
is my
Montague,
discussion, and it's really
Ms.
brief.
Montague, there's
It's
a
brief.
motion to add it to the
Risha.
agenda. There will be further discussion from that.
Well, this
There
is the
a
discussion.
motion
There's
to
a
put
motion
it
and a
on the
second, and
floor.
this is my part of the discussion. I can't? I was just trying to inform people, because you said you didn't know what it was,
Look,
so I looked it up.
I've already voiced my
that
concern
what
about
this
this is kind of a, out of character, out of context. You want to add something that nobody else on the board,
I know.
you want to
I
read it
didn't
to
even
us, and then
first
you
or
want us to
second it.
take action on something nobody spent any time with.
I didn't move or
really-
second. I just looked
really
it
don't
up
think that
when it
that's
got brought
what's
up.
needed.
So, because I'm pretty used to working on the fly around here. What, if I could just read it really fast so that way we know what we're voting on.
Mr. President, I don't want to hear it.
So,
How long have we been here?
1-1, Article 1, the preamble. I'm just going to go ahead and read it. This will be going to be
Motion to
my
adjourn.
part of the discussion.
Time to adjourn?
This memorandum of understanding
Motion on
is
the floor.
based upon the premise that individuals at all levels of the Thompson School R2J make valuable contributions to its purpose
right now.
and are
Not
committed
right
to
now,
treating
no.
one another with
Next
respect
meeting.
and dignity.
Meeting.
The parties to this agreement believe that a quality education is
meeting.
a fundamental right of every child.
Out of order.
All children can learn.
Has been.
We have the responsibility to preserve the right of all students to succeed and to promote success for every student. We further recognize and
Denise,
greatly value the
stop it.
extraordinary
Mr.
commitment of
President.
all school employees
Stop.
and the efforts
Montague,
they
I
make.
think it's been clear. Please, can we just
I
take the
can't-
vote? It's
I-
enough.
I'm
Let's just
halfway
take the
through
vote.
it.
Let's just take the vote. You want to add it to the agenda? Ms. Rice will call the vote, and then we'll
And
move
then
on.
we can read it?
If it passes, I guess. If not, then now that
Well,
you're talking
but how
about
do
an
we know what we're
agenda.
voting on?
Good
You're voting
question.
to add something to the agenda.
We're voting,
Tonight.
but we
Tonight.
should
This
know
is
what
for
it is that
tonight.
we're adding.
You want to add it to tonight?
We should know what it, do you agree that we should know what it is we're adding, or we're just?
should.
I
we're
don't
just
think
gonna
we should
do
be
it?
adding anything to the
Tonight.
agenda tonight on action. We are
At
done
all.
with action items. We've done that already. That's my
Okay,
point.
well, I don't know. I just informed myself, and I'm reading this, and I
Well,
think I
thank
could
you so
get
much,
behind
Ms.
it.
Montague, for informing yourself. That's great to know, but I think it's really unwise for us to add any action items to the agenda after finishing up our action items for the evening.
I don't know who on
It's-
earth
that's
couldn't
it.
get behind
So the
this.
motion has been made, a second's been made. Ms. Rice, would you please call the
Oh,
roll?
for God's sake.
Bryce Carlson.
No.
Pam Howard.
Aye.
Lori Ward.
It's Lori Visda Ward, and I vote yes.
Bob Kerrigan.
No.
Carl Langner.
No.
Denise Montague.
Well, I just read it and I get behind it. Everybody go home and read it. Aye.
Donna Rice.
No.
Motion fails.
So can we do that for the next meeting then, please? Future agenda item.
Are we going to add
I have a
it?
few others, too.
I made a note. What else?
A couple things. Back in the spring, I was under the impression that we were supposed to have a report on special education issues in the district, and I never saw that. So I would really like to get an update on special education issues in the district. I think that's broad enough. I think that's enough detail. Also, I heard a report today on the radio that the obesity epidemic among our kids is resulting in 70% of 17, 18, 19-year-olds that apply for the military are being rejected because they're obese. So the suggestion by the military people, of course, was this is the high school's problem. I would like to take a look at further doing something with physical education in the high schools. I think it's kind of laughable that my kids were only required to take one semester of PE in 4 years of high school. And then my final thing is, Mrs. King is still here. She has mentioned several times her concerns about prerequisites for math classes and looking into math classes for children that have no intention of going to college, that know that that's what they want to do. And I guess I'd like to hear the final word on that, where we are, what can we do, what can't we do, what are we required to do, why we have to keep talking about this. And those are my three for tonight.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you. Seeing no further business, meeting adjourned. Boom. There is no roll. Business is adjourned. Finish is done.
It is done. We are done. We're cooked.